All right, YouTube, I guess we're going to start inside the car on the floors. As you can see, there is a few rust holes, but all in all, it's not horrible. I'm going to fix this a real low buck way. This is a wasteland car after all. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it. And I'm going to show you how I do it. This is just how I do it. I know there's other ways to do it. I know this isn't, doing my fingers in air quotes, the right way. But I also know this way works, and it's pretty low buck, and I'll show you how I do it. Alright, YouTube, so how I do this, my process is pretty simple. First thing I do is vacuum it out, get any loose dirt, debris, rust, whatever. You can go over it with a wire brush and, loosen up anything, get all that out you can. I've already done all that. Next step, I'll just get a piece of cardboard. In this case, it's a Mountain Dew box, but I throw it down there, whip out, trace around it, make a pattern. This is roughly what it's going to take. Then I take that pattern, transfer it over to some kind of sheet metal. It could be part of old, car hood, or in this case, I'm using just regular thin sheet metal like HVAC sheet metal, but it could be roof flashing, it could be anything. I know a lot of guys use license plates and stuff, but I like to do it this way because I feel like this is a better patch than just license plates. Plus, it actually fits the shape of your floor pan. So at this point, you got sheet metal. You can do it a couple different ways. The way I prefer to do it is to pull the sheet metal back up, actually treat that rust down there with some kind of product. You can do rust converter, you can do paint, you can do pour 15, I guess is the name of it. It's high dollar. I'm just going to use cheap old Rust-Oleum, and that's what we're going to do next. We're just going to get a layer of Rust-Oleum down to seal between that metal and the new piece of metal you're going to put down there. Okay guys, I spent a couple of days, it's only been a few minutes for you, but it's been a couple of days for me. I'm going to show you step 2 to my secret process on how to budget fix these floors the completely wrong way. And after you get your paint on, your Rust-Oleum or whatever, and it's dry, the next step is this aluminum heat and air HVAC tape. It's just aluminum sticky back. It's kind of like thick tin foil. The sticky back, and what you want to do is just tear it and put it over the holes. I'll get you in close so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see right here we got a couple of these holes. What you want to do is take some of this aluminum tape and just go right over top of it, smear it down real good. Okay, and we're going to do that for all the little holes. Some of these are probably a little big for just doing this, but I think I'm gonna put a piece of metal over it anyway. So this is just more or less to keep water intrusion and rodents from coming in. And the next piece of metal we put on top actually be for structure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got our aluminum tape over all the holes, and the main thing with this is just making sure you got it really mashed down. That's a little bit of overkill as far as the amount I used, but for no bigger than the holes were, but you want to make sure it's mounted and covered. And then here's a secret: floor pan in a can, also known as Flex Seal. And what you want to do is just come right over top of this aluminized tape, especially around the edges really well, and just coat it on 2 coats, and that's it, man. I mean, I'm probably going to put metal back on top of this because I'm not sure if I was going to put a back seat in there, but if I knew for 100% sure I was going to put a back seat in here, that's all I would do. And that's going to seal it up. It's going to keep that tape from peeling up, and it's going to seal your floor up. It's going to keep rats from getting in. I mean, the whole 9 yards. The Rust-Oleum paint under it's going to stop the rust. And then what I'll do from the underside, I'll go under the underside and treat it with paint, and I'll probably do the exact same process on the underside, or just around the holes, and that's it. It's that simple. Again, this is completely the wrong way to do it, but on a budget, I mean, a can of this is like 15 bucks, and I'll do this whole car with that can. I can't put, the tape said tape was 15 bucks as well. I can't do a complete floor pan in a car for 30 bucks, but I can with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and cut you back on when we got some more progress. Alright guys, up under the seat riser was really rotted out, and so we're gonna do this one a little different. What we're gonna do is go ahead and put the metal down first, screw it down, seal it with the tape, and then spray it with the Flex Seal. I wanted to point out, this floor in this particular car, this car is a full frame car. So this floor is not really structured. This car is literally, this floor is literally just like holding the people in the seats. It's not like a unibody where it's actually holding the car together. Does it help make it the chassis and everything rigid? Yes. But is this little bit of metal right here going to cause any kind of major fatigue or issue by doing it this way? No. So I'm going to go ahead and put these screws in. I'm just zipping some real short sheet metal screws down. And what I'll do, I'll just start in the corner, and I'll work my way out from the edge. I don't know, every 5-6 inches, whatever. Again, this aluminized tape is the same tape that's used on heat and air ductwork, so it's pretty, when it seals up, it's pretty good. The Flex Seal does help it adhere even more, that's why I want to make sure I get the Flex Seal over top of it really good. Coverage is really good, but for the most part, if it's a small hole, you don't need this metal. The only reason I'm putting this metal in is because it was a really bad hole, and it's right under the seat. So I don't want any problems in the future with water coming in under the seat, or things crawling up under the seat and living, or whatever. So all right, so here we go, floor pan in a can. There we go. The good thing about this Flex Seal too is it's paintable. So once this dries, if you really did want to kind of paint your floors or whatever, if you were doing something you really cared about, you could actually, patch your floor like this one. It wouldn't be that noticeable. Most cars would have carpet over them anyway, but if you were doing something like a off-road truck or whatever, and you just wanted to kind of look nice inside but still have a solid floor, and color match it by painting, you could do it. You could completely do it like this. So, all right, guys. So we've had two coats of Flex Seal set up on top of the tape. This would probably be fine if you're going to put a back seat back in it, and I might. But being as this is going to be a wasteland car, and I got my metal cut, I plan on patching it with these pieces of metal. One thing that I did do, I went ahead and painted the underside of the metal. That'll keep it just from flash rusting. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to screw them down in spot, and I'll show you the next step. Alright guys, so we got the panel screwed down. I beat it with a hammer some to really flush it up and get the contours of the floor pan right. And then here's one of the big parts to this. It's been Flex Sealed under it. The tape's on, it's aluminum tape on it. It's Flex Seal, so in theory it should be sealed up. But I'm gonna do this procedure through the whole car. And the front of the car, this come into play more. But after you put your piece of metal down, you don't want any water intrusion. And so the best way to keep that from happening is to seal it with this. It's what I use: Loctite roof flashing, chimney joint and shingle polyurethane sealant. It's at Lowe's, Walmart, and it's basically like a urethane, like they put windshields in with, and it's a lot cheaper. The 3M windshield glue is like $20-something, $25 a tube. This stuff's like $8 at Lowe's. It does the same purpose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna load it in the caulk gun, and we're gonna seal around the edge, and that'll make sure no water, even if it comes back through from under the bottom, it can't get into the car. And then lastly, the last thing I do is probably paint over top of it. So alright guys, so this is pretty much finished product. I sprayed some flat black primer in there, red oxide primer, and tried to just blend it in, but definitely think it turned out good enough for who it's for. And hopefully somebody got something that they took away from this, that they could do it too, cheap and easy, and it ain't got to be quote unquote right. If you guys made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks. I'm really trying hard to produce better content. It's tough. I'm a small time guy out here just doing it on my free time, and I'm not a real techie guy. So if you made it this far, I really appreciate that. Please like, comment, subscribe. I know everybody says that, but there's not a lot of this type of content on YouTube as far as apocalypse cars or wasteland cars, and I think they're pretty cool, man. I think if we could share it and get it out there more, I enjoy seeing some of the other builds I do see, but it's not like the rat rod community or some of the other car community on YouTube. So please, if you're enjoying this, like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks again.